5 people were attacked in Colorado Springs earlier this month, and now one of the victims is saying that he feels it is a hate crime because of his sexual orientation. What would you do if you were billed nearly $6,000 to drive on a highway? We'll talk to a local woman who's outraged by the charges and how you can avoid it. I'm the perfect example of what not to do. I'm standing outside at dusk, I'm wearing short sleeves, my ankles are exposed, and I'm wearing perfume instead of insect repellent. I'm also standing next to this giant pool of water where experts say mosquitoes love to live. Logan will be speaking at the Glenn Miller Ballroom tonight at 7. Doors open at 6:30 and it is free and open to the public. Jessica Soto, News Team Boulder. The second most clicked story online right now, a former Broomfield high school teacher gets 10 years to life for having sex with a student. Hunger is one of those cravings that you can't just satisfy with any solution. So grab yourself a friend, or that someone special, and book yourself a culinary tour. Because of the military's recent drawback in Iraq and Afghanistan, many soldiers are now looking to use their education benefits. That's why CU's administration department collaborated with CU's Veteran Services to welcome Colorado military members with open arms. Not many knew the name Lara Logan before that brutal attack in Tahrir Square in Egypt. And now that the CBS chief foreign correspondent is coming to CU, her face is across campus and on the minds of journalism students.
I actually wasn't aware of Lara Logan before hearing about her as a speaker potential for our board to bring in for the year, and as soon as we learned her name and did a little bit of education about her, I was absolutely thrilled with the idea of having her come and speak to students at CU.
Last year on February 11th, the Hosni Mubarak regime fell. The celebrations took place in Tahrir Square with over 100,000 people. Lara Logan was singled out by a mob of men in a violent sexual attack, forcing her from her 60-minute crew.
I don't even know what's happening. I feel hands grabbing my breasts, grabbing my crotch, grabbing me from behind. I mean, it's not, one person and then it stops. It's like one person and another person and another person.
Logan believed that Egypt was where she was going to die.
We're tearing my body in every direction at this point, tearing my muscles. And they were trying to tear off chunks of my scalp.
She was fighting for her life for nearly 25 minutes, being dragged through the dirt, until a woman covered in an all-black chador saved her. She is speaking out to add her voice to the issue of sexual assault, and in her words, to break the code of silence.
I really hope that CU students take advantage of Lara Logan on campus and are able to come hear her story, because she's an incredible woman, an engaging speaker, and a fantastic journalist.
Logan will be speaking at the Glenn Miller Ballroom tonight at 7. Doors open at 6:30 and it is free and open to the public. Jessica Soto, News Team Boulder. 5 people were attacked in Colorado Springs earlier this month, and now one of the victims is saying that he feels it is a hate crime because of his sexual orientation.
Ended up getting kicked several times in the face and the ribs.
A 21-year-old we'll call Jonathan says he was attacked outside of a restaurant late last night just because what his friend was wearing, attire from his job as a dancer at a gay nightclub.
And he didn't care too much for the way my friend was dressed. They were saying a lot of homosexual slurs as far as like faggot, queer, that kind of stuff.
This hate crime is galvanizing the Colorado Springs LGBT community, already annoyed that Mayor Steve Bach won't sign a proclamation recognizing this weekend's Pride Fest. And now more upset, Bach last night refused to sign another proclamation condemning hate crimes against gays. Mayor Bach was not available to an on-camera interview, but he did send us this statement in quote, "There is no place in our city for violence, discrimination, or intolerance. I expect our police department will do a thorough investigation and prosecute any offenders to the fullest extent allowed by law." And yet to our victims whose jaw has been wired shut, actions speak a whole lot louder than words. One Denver-based company is turning dining into an experience with the sampling of an eclectic mix in just a few hours. And it's not just the food and wine that's getting all the attention, but it's taking the clients on a full tour where they also can go into the kitchen and meet the chefs. Culinary Connectors was founded in 2008 by Becky Creighton. The company has since then expanded to Boulder and Aspen. Creighton says the tours are educational.
We get to meet the owners, they come out, they tell us about why they started their shop, the passion they have for chocolate in this case, or any of the other restaurants that we go to.
I went on the flavor tour in Boulder with one group who toured 4 shops on Pearl Street: Ozo Coffee, Love, Peace, and Chocolate, Verde, and Salt. At each location, the owner or the chef immediately greeted us with samples. We learned about the brewing process at Ozo Coffee, and then there were the delicious chocolates, the rich, world-class, decadent chocolates, where we learned details about the cocoa bean. And from the sweet tastes of Love, Peace, and Chocolate, guests followed chef and tour guide Greg Caruso to Verde. Verde is a small shop that offers over 45 different olive oils and vinaigrettes for customers to choose from. Store manager Alicia Golden educated the tourists and helped them choose the best oil that would gratify their taste buds.
So all of our olive oils that we actually put through testing in labs so that we can tell the customer what level of antioxidants it has in it, as well as certain flaws that naturally occur in extra virgin olive oil just because it's a raw fruit juice, more or less.
The last stop on our tour ended with happy hour at Salt, where they believe food tastes better when served with a specialty drink. Hunger is one of those cravings that you can't just satisfy with any solution. So grab yourself a friend or that someone special and book yourself a culinary tour. Here, you can experience fine foods at a low cost. After all, it's a full stomach that satisfies the heart. And a little advice for college students?
To college students, I think it'd be a nice time, especially during Parents' Weekend. It's a nice way to learn a little bit more about the town that you're going to school in, and also to show your parents the town, and maybe get them to take you out to dinner.
But Culinary Connectors is about much more than food tours.
It's not about offering tours, it's about offering that connection and helping people create memories.
Food is the simplest form of comfort, and to dine with company only enhances that feeling. So go out and book yourself a culinary tour and experience the aromas and tastes of the city around you, getting an up-close look at the actual face of Colorado's finest eateries. Jessica Soto, News Team Boulder.